Hello, everybody. All of the planets aligned, and I actually was able to sign on a few minutes early because somehow I'm organized. I mean, I try to be organized all the time, but it always seems that there's always some last minute thing. So I'm absolutely confident that somewhere during this evening, I will have forgotten something because things just don't go this smoothly. But hey, I was ready to go. I saw there were some people hanging out already and waiting for the video to start. So I figured I'd come on early and say hi. First going off to Peterson. Thanks so much for coming back. Saw you and everybody else's chat. Was feeling like the last person picked on the school kickball team because you never came to my sales. So I really appreciate you came over. I know you've been here before, last week or maybe the week before. So you came back. So I'm feeling even more special. So thanks so much for joining again, Peterson. And Vinny is in the house. So thanks so much for joining me, Vinny. I picked up something on the recently. I'll be probably doing it in a haul video. I picked up some pinup cards, Vinny. Probably be doing them, selling them in a live sale. I'm sure you already have them. They're the Gil Elfgren? I don't have it in front of me because they're not part of tonight's sale, but it was a name that I didn't know, and they're like a set of trading cards from the 90s. So you probably already have them, but I thought they were kind of fun. Celeste in Texas is coming back, and excellent. She got her mystery box. Always excited when people get their mystery boxes. Hope everyone likes their mystery boxes. And Dawn coming in from Just One More Dachshund Rescue. Oh, thank you so much for catching my video from last night. So last night I did a premiere video, or no, I didn't do it as a premiere. I just dropped a video, but it went live last night. And I've been doing, since I did my 2-week road trip out east, which included visiting Dawn from the Just One More Dachshund Rescue and meeting 17. I'm not sure if I met all 17, but meeting a lot of her dachshunds. I've been posting some videos from that. So last night was the video from my visit to Maryland. I'm not sure it's the best way to organize my videos, but it's a way to organize my video. So I did one for everything in Pennsylvania, and then I did another one for everything in Maryland. So that dropped last night. So I did actually show a couple of the doxies. I did something different on my videos last night, so hopefully people liked it. I actually had done one of the videos with the dachshunds on my phone for Instagram. So everything was portrait. But then when you do things on YouTube, obviously, just like you're watching it here, it's going to be landscape. So I was dropping that in, and hopefully people didn't get too annoyed that the screen shape changed a little bit. But yes, I showed, and I'm sure, Dawn, if you watched that video when I did the clip, I misnamed every one of your dogs, every one of them. I think I got Murphy right. That may have been it. I had one and done. Charlie Brown. I'm pretty sure I got Charlie Brown right. But there was one where when I was editing the video, I'm like, that's not Tucker. So yes, it was a fun video to make, and then reliving it while I was editing it was fun as well. On the Addicts Treasures coming in. Great. Thanks for joining. Juanita M is coming in. Thanks so much for coming in. And of course we just jumped again. So now I lost where I was. A bunch of other people are coming on. So Nettie coming in from the West Coast, Susan Way coming in from Mississippi, Mama J, Kim Z coming in from the Buckeye State. Her mystery box, hopefully, I don't know if your mystery box has arrived yet, Kim. Yours was frustrating to pack because I did not plan well. And so I did all of your things in your mystery box, but you had also, as she well knows, Kim had also purchased some other items. And so when I went to put them all together, the box I had picked did not fit. So I had to kind of reshift things around. So hopefully you like what you got, Kim. You get the benefit of being local. So you got one of the heaviest items that I shipped in a mystery box. Let's see. Jay, we got the Frenchie mom saying, I'm talking about dachshunds, and the Frenchie mom hears me and she comes on to judge me. So thanks so much for joining us, Frenchie mom. So glad to have you in the house. Victoria H coming in from, but we've got Nutmeg State, Connecticut, Nutmeg, I think. Jay Goodwin's in the house. Sam Doyen coming from, New Hampshire is, you don't live free or die. Granite State. Sam's coming in from the Granite State. So I think the cards are marked. I think they were marked Gil Elfgren. I don't remember. I think I would have remembered Gillette. So I think they just said Gil Elfgren, and they were just trading cards, but they're packs. They're kind of cool. Barb coming in from Winking Owl Antiques. So we've got our first Illinoisan joining me today. Coming in from Southern Illinois, but that's quite all right. That's where my family's from. And Deb, we got Northern Illinois taking over. We've got Debbie coming in here from Chicago suburbs. And Sharon Delaney coming in. And we got another West Coaster. We got Pacific Northwest represented. We got Trisha from Sandy and Otto. And Mayberry Caboodles has come back. Tia Fane, I think that's the first connect that I'm actually recognizing in the chat so far. So thanks so much for joining us, Tia Fane. And let's see. So the video last night was in Maryland. And it was a lot of little videos because I did the same thing as Pennsylvania. I ended up having kind of some weird clips, and I ended up videotaping the outside of the dog thrift store. Okay, you weren't thrifting dogs. It was a thrift store where the money went to the dogs. But I didn't actually film anything inside, but I wanted to keep that clip in because I wanted to give some attention to the spot thrift store in St. Leonard. But yes, Emporium was amazing. So anybody who lives anywhere in the Delmarva region or anywhere in the Mid-Atlantic, if you can get to Frederick, Maryland, definitely someplace I would recommend. It's an antique mall, but I don't mean this in any disparaging way to other antique malls. It's a nice antique mall. Like, just some of the stuff that they had was really well curated, but the prices were not out of the question. I mean, I bought several things there to resell. So it just totally my vibe. I really enjoyed it. They had a clearance section, got some stuff from there. So Emporium Antiques, and it's like right in the downtown section. And that's kind of what I've only been to Frederick once before. That was years and years ago. That was the area I remembered, was that downtown section. I also recommend, if you see the video, there's another place called Great Stuff by Paul, also in Frederick, but it's in an older building, but I think everything in Frederick is old. It's just not in that downtown area. Absolutely worth it. They do wholesale pricing, but you don't have to be in the business. And they just had some amazing stuff, and they buy it and they get it in bulk from other countries. And so it's, some baskets and pottery and just some really cool pieces that you get choose from. And something I'm selling, I think I've got a couple things tonight that I got from there. I don't remember. Some of the things I can't remember where I got things from, but I did buy stuff there, so I will definitely be reselling. So yes, Emporium Antiques was great. Ancestral Beginnings, thanks for coming in. I think I said hello to Sharon. If not, just in case, hello Sharon. Irene's coming in. Let's see. Julie, we had another Canuck. Okay, so we've got Julie coming in also from AJ's Retro and Vintage. And we just jumped. I saw Chad for another Terp in the house. Okay, where did I go? Now, I'm sorry, I'm going to have missed a bunch of people. Thomas Lynch is there, so Sue must be around somewhere. Proud Americans come back. Thanks so much. We got Texas represented. Got Carrie coming in from Austin, Texas. Oh, I got New Zealand's in the house. Thanks for coming back, Nate. Let's see. And there's Chad. We've got the Northern Maryland. So he's not too far from Frederick. So I'm sure he probably could have told me some other places I could have gone. Carol coming in from Michigan. She can tell us what part of the mitten she lives in. Robin A coming in from Maine. Grace coming back in. Thanks so much for joining us, Dana Grace. Let's see. Oh, Katie, got our Floridian in the house. Oh, so Sam says we do live free or die too. All right, so you're just going to copy Vermont, or is Vermont the live free or die? Or did I get him wrong? Is New Hampshire live free and die? What do I know? I live in Illinois. So let's see. Tammy, we got Tammy coming in, and Nancy Smith coming in from East Tennessee. My family I did a family in Gallatin, Tennessee, but that is not East Tennessee. Pam Avery coming in from New York. My daughter just registered for her graduate school classes today. She is heading to New York for grad school in the fall. Pat Hall coming in. Vintage Digs. Gina in the house. Thanks so much for joining us, Gina. And Kat in the house too. Calypso Antiques Kat. They've been doing some live sales as well, so make sure you check theirs out. And go throw it out here. Most of the names I'm saying, I actually did see a few new names, so thank you all for joining. If you're not familiar with my channel, works the same way as most of the others. But the one thing that I do, and it seems like Kat and Gina are doing as well, is I don't do auctions or offer ups. I just don't. So when I give you anything that I show you tonight, I will show you the item. I will give you a price, and that is the price you will pay. I will then give you the item number, and you need to enter that item number into the live chat. If you are not seeing some of these comments that are popping up that are on the screen, you are probably in the comments, not in the chat. So if you're watching this on a mobile device, you do have to be in the app. You cannot see the chat if you're not in the app. So that we had a problem with that last week. Somebody was frustrated, and I feel bad about that after the fact, but I can't monitor the comments while I'm also trying to monitor the chat. Nancy's in the house. Oh, Nancy. Yeah, Nancy, usually the reason, are you doing your sale tonight, Nancy? You said you're taking a muscle relaxer, so maybe you won't be doing your sale tonight. I know that you've had some health issues, so I hope you're trying to do better. But so Nancy does her sales after, like really late after mine end. So she is great for the night owl environment. Nancy did her first live sale with me, so hopefully you're doing better. She's in the Keystone State, Pennsylvania, Eastern Pennsylvania. So thanks for joining. Yeah, Frederick is a great town. So anyway, so I apologize if I missed anybody. I want to go ahead and try and start getting into the sale. Karen is here. It's like scrolling really fast. Oh, so Halem and Melody must be in here. There we go. So they're also from the Keystone State, Pennsylvania. We got El Unico Uno Thrifter Treasures. Thanks so much for joining. Vintage Lovin' Nerd. And okay, so I'm to the end of the chat, but I'm sure I missed some people. So just keep that in mind. Make sure you're in the live chat and be refreshing your feed as often as you can. Yeah, I'm a talker, so I usually give you some time when I show you the item. You'll have some time to refresh your feed, but it'll be the first person that you see in the chat. Soul Nate will be monitoring the chat tonight, so he will be the final arbiter of who is the first person he sees in the chat. But as I always say, I'm not selling the Mona Lisa. Nothing here is that unique that if you miss out on something, don't get upset. Don't pick a fight. We're all here to have some fun. And that's what I feel like all the live sales should be. We should be here to have some fun. So thanks so much for joining in. We got Helen Casey. So a couple more people join in. Helen Casey came in. Brian coming back from also in the Chicagoland area. Pam Avery coming in. So again, thanks for all of that. If you've been to my sale before, what I've been doing recently is I always start out my live sale with a mystery box. Mystery boxes are a little bit different in the sense that they're so popular that people who feel they have slower internet or whatever the case, they feel like they don't have as much of a shot to get the popular items. So we've turned this into fun. Yeah, sorry, TFA, no Mona Lisa. You have to go to another sale for that. So we turn it into fun. I recognize that these are popular, so I've changed the way, just for the mystery boxes, I have changed the way that the mystery boxes are available. If you're new to my channel, you will not understand why I'm showing a maxi pad, but there is a story behind the maxi pads, and just leave it to say that you will get a maxi pad, a vintage maxi pad, in your mystery box. So there's always you will know one item that you're getting, and it's kind of a cheat for me because then I remember to actually sell the item. So my mystery box was always $15. They will hold between $25 and $30 worth of merchandise. Sometimes it's still tagged from when I had my booth, although those items are pretty much dying away. It'll always have multiple small items in there, so it's more fun to open. And hopefully between all the small items, you find some things you like. But it's $15, and instead of telling you the number, I make you guess the number. So in this particular case, I'm going to give you the range of where the number falls. And the first person, Nate, knows the number. He cannot be bribed. The first person that gives the number that is on this card will be the person that actually receives it. I will build the mystery box based on where you live. So if you live really far away, I'm shipping out of Chicago. So if you live really far away, you'll still get the same value of items, but you'll get lighter weight items. I mentioned Kim got the mystery box. She's not that far from me. It's cheap for me to ship to Ohio. And so I think her box weighed 8 pounds. So she got some bigger items in there. Always still the same value, but so I will take that into consideration. So your shipping will end up being around $10. That's kind of what my target is. So the number for the mystery box, you need to guess that number, and the number will fall between the number 10 and 20. So guess the number between 10 and 20. I always hold it up so no one can accuse me of like changing the number or playing favorites or something. So between 10 and 20, and Nate knows the number, and he will be able to tell me who the first person he sees. I see somebody guessed it. Now we'll see what Nate says the first person was who guessed it. I'm trying to update my chat here because I want to make sure that I've got this. And I forgot to announce it, but you guys figured it out. You can enter more than one number, so you can keep guessing. So let's see. Did Nate give me the winning number? Uh-oh, did I lose Nate? Nate seemed to usually was like telling me who won before I even, there we go. We have it in here somewhere. Now we got to find his chat. There we go. Mystery box number 19 goes to Melody's Many Miscellaneous. So number 19 goes to Melody, heading to the Keystone State, Pennsylvania. And that is another case where it does not cost me very much to ship to Pennsylvania for some reason. It's cheaper for me to ship to Pennsylvania than it is for me to ship to Kentucky. I do not know why. But it's just the way the zone maps are set up. So congratulations, Melody, for picking up the first mystery box. I think you already have a maxi pad, so you can like start your own little collection. All right. So we had, I know, at least one person, maybe I'm trying to remember, is Tammy, are you in Florida too? We may have a couple Floridians in the house. So we've got our Florida kitsch. Saw this, thought it was kind of cute, simply because, you know, Illinois, there's a lot of stuff from Illinois that gets made as souvenir pieces that are in the shape of Illinois. But Illinois is very, you know, simple to make. It's not as simple as like Colorado, where you could just say anything that's a rectangle is Colorado. But this, I've just never seen a dish that ended up having this massive panhandle, which if you pulled this into a scale map, I don't think the panhandle is this deep. This seems a little out of proportion to me. But it is at least what the individual artisans within occupied Japan thought Florida needed to look like. So we've got a Florida trinket dish made in occupied Japan. So it's made between 1948 and 1953-ish, or 45 to 1953. It is designed, actually it does say something on here, designed by Berger of Miami, hand painted in occupied Japan. So you've got, it looks like they've identified the Capitol building. I'm assuming that's Tallahassee, must be there above the L. And then you've got, what is that, a swordfish or a marlin? We've got our oranges, the pink flamingos. What is that? Somebody sitting underneath an umbrella and an alligator. So you've got trinket dish. It is in good condition in the sense there's no chips, there's no cracks. There's a little bit of wear, as you would expect to dishes of this age. That gold, unfortunately, tends to rub off a little bit. So you can see there's definitely some vintage wear to the gold, but there's no chips or cracks anywhere in the piece. So we've got the vintage Florida trinket dish, and it is $9. And you can have that. Yeah, that's a little big for the panhandle. Oh, is that where you're at, Tammy, in Tallahassee? Well, there you go. You got your own little Capitol building right there. You can live above the L. So $9 for the vintage Florida dish by giving me number 46. $9.46 for the vintage Florida dish. And so the maxi pad. Well, we're just going to say I thought you hadn't seen one of those maxi pads. We determined they were probably from the 70s or the 80s. The maxi pad that I actually had. Oh, hey, Michelle, thanks for joining us. And Sharon came in, Cricket came in, Book Bewitched came in. Book Bewitched, check I've tried to send you an email and a chat on your Instagram. If you could check that, I think we misconnected. So I'm glad welcome back to the sale. Always happy to have you. But I did have a question for you. And Maria's coming in, who I'll just make sure I didn't miss anybody. So it looks like number 46 is going to Vintage Digs Gina. So thank you very much, Vintage Digs, for picking up the Florida dish. All right. Next item is this is one of the items, if you are on Instagram and you do not follow me on Instagram, what I try and do, I didn't do it the last couple of weeks because of my trip, but what I've been trying to do is give a preview photos of items that I'm going to be including in my sale. And this was one of the items that I included. It is a yellow and white slag glass daffodil acro agate vase. So size-wise, it's fairly large. So I mean, this is not the typical toothpick holder. It's 4¼ inches tall. It has the designs both on the front and on the back. So it's got the daffodil. Now, something about acro agate, and I'm not particularly knowledgeable on it. I know a couple of people that I've recognized in the chat. I know that you have either have collections or you've had multiple pieces, including Nate. It's very roughly done. The mold lines are very severe in here. The outside mold line is not so bad, but the inside one, it just has a very severe lip. And as I was feeling it, I knew that that was the case. I didn't think anything of it. But when I was cleaning it up when I came home, that's on the inside. On the outside, also seems to have a pretty sharp lip. But there is a place where a little bit of it has flaked off. Like there's a little bit of a chip there. And I apologize, it's not showing particularly well. You can see it still has the rim, but there is just a little bit of a chip right there on the edge. So it just has an even rougher feel. But like I said, I picked it up. I didn't realize it was there, but I did once I was pricing it. So I decided to price it a little bit lower because although you can't see it, you can definitely feel it. And this one did not. It has the Made in USA, and it has the, in the very center, it's got the mark as well. So it is, I believe, a daffodil. Can't say I know my horticulture very well, but I believe it's a daffodil, and it's $12. So $12 a daffodil slag glass vase. $12 by giving me number 17. $12, number 17 for the slag glass. Ooh, does it glow? I don't think I tested this one. No, it does not glow. There are several items here that I also had promoted on my Instagram page that I received multiple comments from saying, oh, that you should have posted a picture that it glowed. I don't have anything glowing tonight. I have things that you would think they would glow. They're not glowing. So unfortunately, the yellow, and I don't know if agate normally glows. This is probably only the second piece I've ever had, so I don't know if it normally glows, but this particular one did not. Hey, D. So number 17 goes to, just lost his little note. Well, it goes to Gia Schaefer, but I can't find where Gia Schaefer, there we go. Gia Schaefer, number 17, gets the acro agate vase. So thank you, Gia, for picking that up. All right. Somebody just have a question? Okay. And next item is probably one of my favorite items that I got in the sale. And I'm going to do this early in the sale so that Nate does not pass out too late in the sale, because this is going to be one of those cases where I have multiples. So I try and do this as often as I can. Thanks, Maria. I try and do this as often as I can, but I'm not always lucky enough to find multiples of the same item. But this time I did. And it was a set of prescription. It's a duplicate prescription form for medicinal liquor. And what I have is a series of 10. So there's going to be a total of 10 of these available, a total of 10 of these prescriptions from the Depression, or I'm sorry, well, it is from the Depression too, but during Prohibition, where you could get a medicinal prescription for whiskey. All 10 of them, you can see the little RX on that top line, all 10 of them have the word whiskey written in. So it's a prescription form for medicinal liquor. It is completely filled out and dated. So this one was issued on January 28th, 1929. And it was filled on January 28th, 1929. So they got their prescription they got the prescription and they walked in and filled it. The guy that sold them to me said that they're all dated for Washington, or the place is Washington, D.C. So I think it's hilarious that in the nation's capital, the people who are responsible for Prohibition, that this is what's happening. That there was, he couldn't say that this is necessarily, I don't remember if they were all from the same location, but that he had heard, whether it was a old wives' tale or not, but that there would be doctors that would sit outside of pharmacies, and you could pay the doctor to write you a prescription for your whiskey, and then you would walk in the door, turn this over to the pharmacy, and the pharmacy would give you your pint of whiskey. And so that was just how the doctors were making money during the Depression. So I think that is hilarious. So you cannot, it has already been filled, so you cannot, you can't get it filled anymore, because you can see it's been canceled by Manny Sinatra, no, Sonata, something, Snodo. Again, and it was filled or canceled was January 28th, 1929. So I have 10 of these, all 10. So yeah, I see the notes. Be refreshing right now. Refresh your chat. There will be 10 of these. So the first 10 people that give me the number, they'll all be able to get one. But all 10 that I have, they're all a little bit different. They all specifically say whiskey. I passed on a couple that he had that did not say whiskey. They had some other term that I'd never heard of, but it was like the chemical term for the alcohol. I don't know. And because it's all doctor's handwriting, I could barely read it anyway. So they all will say whiskey. They will all be dated either 1928 or 1929. All 10 are between either 28 or 29, and all of them have been canceled. I don't know if the holes were part of the cancellation process, or if this is like, I don't know if you put this into a book, maybe it was like some sort of a receipt book or something. I'm not sure, because it doesn't really cancel any of the words. It's just kind of off to the side. It does have information on the back. It says instructions. Both this duplicate prescription form and the original thereof must be delivered to the druggist. So that's the other piece. All 10 are duplicates. They all say duplicate right at the top. I'm not sure who would have been holding the duplicate, because if you took the original and the duplicate into the drugstore, I'm assuming then the duplicate would be the one that you would hold. Maybe, I don't know. But if then, well, they weren't under the same name. So I was thinking, like, would one person have had all of these? Probably not. So hope you've all refreshed, because I'm now going to give you what that number is. So they're all the easily frameable sizes, because they're small and they're all the exact same size. They are like 5 3/4 by 4 1/2. So they'd fit into a little 5 by 7 frame. So it'd be very easy to display. Put this right on your bar, put this in your man cave, she shed, whatever you got. So, yeah, so maybe the doctor had to do, I don't know, or maybe the pharmacy, who knows? But regardless, I agree. Portuguese hydrangea, which is one of the best names I've seen. It's very cool. And like I said, I'm offering it early because Nate tends to get winded when I do multiples. So there are 10 of these. They are $25 each. They are available on eBay and Etsy. So I priced it based on that. So $25 is the going rate for these. $25 for one of the 10, the first 10 people to give me the number 18. So number 18 for $25. And if you want more than one, just type in 18 as fast as you can, more than once, and you'll get, if you're still within the first 10, you'll get whichever ones I have. So number 18, $25 for the whiskey. What do they call it again? Prescription form for medicinal liquor. I was in love. This is just too cool. So hopefully, let's see. It looks like we may have had more than 10. So I will have to wait for Nate to weigh in on who the 10 are. I will try and bring it up. Maybe I can grab a screenshot to help him out. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's see if Nate. All right, I'm going to let Nate pull out. He will type into the chat, and I will announce that. And we did have more than 10 people. So we will use, I want to make sure we're using Nate's feed so that there's no question about who's going to get it. Okay, so he just gave it to me. All right, so number 18 goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so number 18 goes to Melodies, Many Miscellaneous, Dolores Cowie, Gia Schaefer, Carrie and Austin, Carol Shands, Greedy Gret, For Sandy's Lilac, Sue Golembeski, Vintage and Vinyl, and Victoria H. So thanks so much and congratulations to all of you. Glad you picked that up. I'm only going to deal with these for now. I will try and make a note of who the other people were that were wanting them. There were additional ones available. I can go back and ask if they were still available, but they didn't say whiskey. They were the ones that said the other alcohol. So if you're interested, do this. If you're still interested in one that doesn't say whiskey, if you missed out and you want one, even if it doesn't say whiskey, they are identical. Everything is identical. It's just in the little prescription line. It doesn't say the word whiskey. It says some sort of alcohol. Drop me an email so that way I don't have to try and monitor the chat. Drop me an email, say you're interested. If I can find more, I will offer you more. I can't guarantee it because I don't know if they're still available, but I will check and bring it up and I'll get back to you. Give me your email address when you send me the email. Obviously, I'll have your email address and we can work it out. So anyway, so congratulations to all of you who got that. It's in the chat. I said your name out loud, so I apologize for anyone who missed it. But thank you so much. I'm glad they were popular because I love them. And I just, like I said, I only grabbed the whiskey ones because I wasn't sure how popular they would be. So glad I found those. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. All right, next one. We've got the liquor. Now we've got the candy. So this one is it's a Thorns Premier Toffee Tin from Leeds, England. It says right on there, the name of the artwork is The Age of Innocence by Sir Joshua Reynolds, the world's most famous picture of childhood. I don't know about that because I don't think I've ever seen that picture before, but I'm a huckster. What do I know? What I found, though, when I was researching this, I've seen these tins before, this style of tin before. It's hinged, which I really like about it. Pretty clean on the inside, very clean on the outside. Like this really doesn't have, there's a little bit of wear on the back, a little bit of wear on the edge. But for the most part, this is in really good condition. And the art on the bottom, the silk screen on the bottom is really good condition. I thought these weren't that old. I just assumed. I then started looking, trying to find out, once I now have one, what should I sell it for? And what I discovered is the company went out of business in 1971. So when you see these Thorns Premier Toffee tins, even when they're in really good condition, I found no reference that they were ever reproduced. And if they were reproduced, they probably wouldn't be reproduced with the toffee information. They're all from the 60s. So who knew? So it is a 1960s tin in absolutely fantastic condition. This great gold and burgundy design all around. And you too can have the most famous image of artwork and insult your friends and say, didn't you know that is the most famous image of childhood? It is from, again, English coffee tea, toffee, Premier Toffee, Leeds, England. But it's only $8. It's $8 for the little Leeds tin. $8, giving me number 2, $8, number 2 for the toffee tin, the hinged toffee tin. All right. Next item, I should have actually sold these earlier, but I forgot I had them. So I'm selling them now. This is, I picked these up in an estate sale in the winter, and I'm like, oh, I should hold on to these until, spring. Well, summer's in like 2 weeks. So, all right. So number 2, the toffee tin goes to Susan Way. So thank you, Susan, for picking up the toffee tin. It is a handbook, a series of handbooks from the Brooklyn Botanic Garden Record on plants and gardens. We've got a handbook on propagation, gardening with wildflowers, houseplants, and handbook on mulches. So if you can't sleep at night, here you go. This is your built-in insomnia cure. They originally were all issued in the 50s. The first printing was 1957. These were all reissued. They just kept reprinting them. Second printing was 62. Third printing was 70. These were all reprinted in 1976 or 77. So I'm sure they were purchased at the same time, but the reprints, this one didn't seem to be reprinted as much because, you know, mulches, how much changes. This is only the 5th printing, but some of the other ones, like the one on houseplants, this is the 12th printing. So houseplants, I guess, changed a lot. Maybe they figured out their suggestions were killing their plants. I don't know. The pictures are in black and white because although they did have different printings and some updated editions, for the most part, I think most of the information probably comes from the original 50s, editions. So there were a much larger set of books available. I only have the 4. And one of them I thought was kind of fun because it actually has a little price guide thing on the corner. And it says in 1977, when they changed the postage rates from $1.50 to $1.75 for shipping handbooks. So, or maybe that was the price of the handbook itself. So anyway, so all of these are 76, 77. So you get the whole set of 4. So you can do all you want with your plants, your mulches, and all of that. And you can have all 4 of them for $10. $10 for the vintage set of gardening books. $10 by giving me number 14. $10, number 14 for all 4 of the gardening books. All right. Next, we're going to do another souvenir piece. This time we're not in Florida. We're going a little bit farther away than Florida. We are going into Russia. So this is a Matrushka doll, a nesting doll from Russia. It is not particularly old. I picked this up at an estate sale, but the reason I picked it up at an estate sale, there was a date on here, and I can't read it. Oh, it's from 2019. So this is not particularly old. But the reason I picked this up is because whoever got this in 2019 would have gotten it from the Soviet Union because all of the information on the tag is in Russian. So the tag is, there's nothing here that's in English, which means it wasn't designed to be sold in a Western market. It's clearly a souvenir piece. Like that's a modern tag. It's clearly sold as a souvenir. It's sold as a souvenir to tourists coming into Russia. But this is not something they would have shipped up, like packaged up in bulk and shipped to some kiosk in New York City or something, like to act like, well, it's Russian. Because the tag would have to be in English if it were going to be sold here in the United States. So it is an absolute touristy piece from Russia. It is, if you don't know what a Matrushka or a nesting doll is, it has the multiple dolls in it. I believe I counted 5 or 6. So that was the biggest one, second biggest one, third biggest one, 4th, 5th, and then 6th. So the smallest one is maybe 1.5 inches tall. They all have similar, except for that middle one, they all have very similar designs. They all have the red body and the draped scarf. This one, the decoration's only on the top. As you get more of them, the decoration goes farther. So this would be a babushka, would be the old woman, although she doesn't look all that old. The old woman is a babushka wearing a babushka, because you can see she has tied that scarf underneath her neck. So the scarf is the babushka, the woman is the babushka. So there is your Russian lesson for the day. Not that any of you cared, but hey, you want to learn something? Now you know the difference between a scarf and an old woman. So this is available. Like I said, it's just simple souvenir piece. I have one just like it, but this one is not mine. And selling it for $8. So $8 for the little Matrushka nesting doll. $8 by giving me number 34. And I think somebody just stepped in saying they wanted the books. So yeah, number 14, the gardening books, is going to go to Maria, California Thrifter. All right. Thank you, Maria. Hopefully it gives good instructions on how to deal with plants in California, where you're either dealing with, you're dealing with droughts or your entire state is on fire. So, you get the book of challenging gardening, but enjoy and hope you like them. All right. Let's see. Let's see what Nate says for number 34. Oh, that's good, Angela. Today got pretty toasty here in the Chicago area. I didn't see Angela come in. So air conditioning is fixed. That is good. And 34 goes to Jeannie Beauchamp. So thank you, Jeannie. I hope Heather's doing well. I don't remember when the baby is due, but I know you're being a grandmother. So you're the babushka. No, that could be taken wrong. Sorry, Sheila. Refresh as often as you can, and sometimes you'll get lucky. All right, but again, not selling the Mona Lisa. All right, next item. I picked these up, and I should have polished them up a little bit. I just thought these were fascinating. And look at the glare. It is a set of aluminum wrapped kitchen trivets or hot plates, hot pads. They've got the little green, like kind of a cardboardy felt on the back. They are from the Sayers company. And when I did some research on them to figure out what I had, they are a match set. So you've got kind of like a little country scene with a church steeple on the hillside with some chickens in the foreground. That same image as you get larger. Now you see a little bit more of the farmhouse. And then with the biggest one, you've got even more of the farmhouse. So you've got 3 of these aluminum trivets. If I just seen them on their own and knew nothing about them, they didn't have a mark, no way for me to stamp them, I would have assumed they were maybe 50s. Just thinking that there's like maybe like that shiny, it's aluminum, that type of thing. It turns out these are all from the 30s because it was kind of a novelty thing. 2 companies made like souvenir pieces. I picked these up at the same time I picked up a set that were similar, but were from the 1939 World's Fair. I picked them up because I wanted the ones from the World's Fair because those will be sold on my Etsy store. But these were in there as well. And the same company, they did souvenir pieces. Now, this one doesn't say where it's from. It's just kind of a farmhouse. But they had to stop making them in 1941 because all aluminum was taken for the war effort. So these are a lot older than I would have thought. And so which Scott is here? Is old. I start talking about the 30s and Scott shows up. He's like reading my mind. So these are all from the 30s. They're all from the Sayers company. The smallest one, they all have a little bit of wear on them because I would say these probably were used. The middle one has a little bit of wear right on the front. Most of the other ones, it's on the edges. So it's this aluminum wrapped set of hot plates, hot pads, trivets, whatever you want to call them, all with the same design, but all with graduated sizes. And you can have the set of 3 for $14. So $14 for the set of 3 aluminum wrapped trivets, hot pads from the Sayers company. $14 by giving me number 44. $14, number 44 for the aluminum wrapped trivets from the 30s. And let's see, we had Claudia came in, I missed. Sharon came in, missed. Jose's, I missed. So appreciate, welcome all the new people that I missed saying hello to coming in late. Judy came in. Thank you so much for joining the sale. Hope you had fun. So the question from Auntie Christie is, when is usually the best time to sell World's Fair souvenirs? I could not even tell you. The idea of World's Fairs, I think, have kind of died out. Like, I don't even know. The last one that I know of is the one from 1982, the Knoxville World's Fair. And that's why I like having World's Fair stuff, because I went to that one. And I think World's Fairs in general are pretty cool. Before the world was like super global. Well, the world was always global, but you know what I mean? Like that whole international connection where you get to hear how other countries lived, basically. That I don't know if there is a right time. I think what ends up happening is those are specific areas that people just collect. They collect the 1939 World's Fair. They collect the 1904 St. Louis World's Fair. They just collect what they want. And so they just have their little reminders set up. So when somebody adds something new, they say, oh, I've never seen one of those. I want one. That's what I'm counting on anyway. So we'll see if I'm right or not. But that is the idea, I think, of the World's Fairs. I list it when I get it. So number 44 goes to Sue Golembeski. So thank you, Sue, for picking that up. All right. Time for some games. We're not actually going to play the games. I just have a game. because this is something, it's not going to be super, super old because it actually has a tag right on there that says made in Thailand. So it's not super old, but I just thought this was fun. And I thought it'd be something that I've sold games on here before. And I just thought this was like be a fun little thing. It is a wooden box that's kind of all set up like this with these little peg games in it. So it's got this cord that wraps around the bottom. So when you flip the cord off of its peg, you end up with 4 individual peg games. So you've got pieces of 8, 2 by 2. Now, there are no instructions on how to play any of these games, so you're going to have to figure that out on your own. Alva's Challenge and 9 Lives. I'm going to assume that all the pegs are here. It was sealed up when I got it. And since I don't know how to play any of the games, I can't really test it out. But it is just kind of a fun little piece, little shelf sitter. You can pull out when you've got friends. I have a feeling these are the types that you just play with 2 people. So I thought it was kind of fun. So this is a set of wooden peg games. It's only $10. $10 for the wooden peg games, $10 by giving me number 41. $10, number 41 for the peg games. All right. Another item that I posted on my Instagram channel and got a lot of comments. One of the ones saying, oh, you should have posted that it glowed. It does not glow. I am sorry. It does not glow. It's just green. It ain't easy being green, especially when everyone thinks you should freaking glow. So I've got a non-glowing swung glass vase. It is 11.5 inches tall. It has the rib pedestal bottom, or not really pedestal, but the ribbed, the rib bottom, which, as I think I figured out, made it Viking. It is not marked, so but based on that design of the base, I believe that is Viking. It's got a really nice, you can kind of see there's a lot of glass here on the bottom, so it's got a really nice weight to the bottom, so it's not going to tip over very easily. And then the swung portion of it, so once they made it and they dipped it, it all came down into basically one long drip. So you don't have the multiple. I think that's just got a really good sculptural look to it. And I thought it was kind of pretty. And I picked it up, but I'm selling it here. So for the green non-glowing vase, okay. So number 14 does not going to the death trap known as California. Correction. No. Oh, Scott went to the 1982 World's Fair too. I think that building's still there. It's far less known as than the Space Needle or the Eiffel Tower. There's the Sun Sphere of Knoxville, Tennessee. I think that was how we all knew it was dying out. It went to Knoxville, Tennessee. I'm sorry, I can't find it, Nate. So if you can tell me what the change was. Oh, you sent me an Instagram message. Hold on. Okay, number 14 went to Mary Jo Vakovsky. All right, sorry about that. Sorry about that, Nate. You were doing exactly what you were supposed to do, but I sorry. All right, so Cricket, I think I said hi to Cricket. All right, and have I unveiled the number? No, okay, I'm sorry. We did all of that without me ever unveiling the number. So the green vase is $18. $18 for the swung glass green Viking vase that does not glow. Don't hold it against it. $18, and you can have that by giving me number 16. $18, number 16 for the swung glass vase. Oh, thank you, Melody. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Nate just said the same thing. I had this sitting off here on the corner. One of the things that I've been doing in my sales the last month or so is, since I don't do auctions here, there's a perfectly good platform for auctions. So I've been sending things into eBay. This is why Scott probably actually did come on, because this is the cream and green Noritake compote that I stole out from underneath Scott. Now he got his payback. Trust me, he's got something that he stole from under me. This is currently in the auction. So thank you, Katie, for dropping the link to this. This auction ends in 15 minutes. So I got distracted. I said I started 5 minutes early, and I got distracted in selling what I was supposed to say. As of the start of the sale, there had been no bids on it. So it is current. It was available. I don't know if it still is, but it is an absolutely gorgeous. It has a square design to it with the scalloped edge. It's got the cream and green design in the middle with the lotus leaves. In the middle of the floral design of each of the lotus leaves is the moriage raised slipware, accenting the individual flowers in the middle of each pedestal, or each petal. It has more of a white kind of on the underside, but you can see it transitions more back to the yellow cream, buttery cream color at the bottom, and then the green and the gold. So this is available currently in my eBay store. The link is being dropped in the chat. It's also available in the description of the video. You can hop over and check this out. This will be ending at the top of the hour, at which time a new item goes up, and that's the little ducks that are peeking out here from the corner. Those will be going live at the top of the hour in 12 minutes. So this is available. It's set up right now for the opening bid of $29. And I don't know if anybody actually bid on it, but they're saying right now it's at $29. And we'll see where it goes. So thank you, Melody and Kate and Nate, for pointing out the fact that I had completely failed to talk about that. And I'm out completely out. So number 16 goes to Claudia Patterson. So Claudia Patterson gets a swung glass vase. Claudia, I'm not sure if I sold you before. So anybody who's buying, anyone who's buying from me tonight, if you haven't purchased with me before, just make sure you send me an email to this email address, because I need to know where you are, and so I can calculate shipping. It's not going to weigh much, but it's going to have to be in a fairly long box. So please do that. So 13 minutes left on the compote, and I just got a notification that there is a new bid. So somebody did open the bid at $29. And technically, I can't, Scott and I have very much discussed this. At no point did we steal anything from each other, but we did there was a video, we talked about this. We did pick in the same location. And while he was rummaging in one room, I was rummaging in another room. Now, in my defense, I was rummaging in a cabinet he had already been in. So if anyone is guilty of anything, it's Scott, because he got stuff. But he offered me dibs to look into the box too. And I said no, because I was too busy stealing this. And so he ended up getting some pretty cool stuff that I did not see. So, you know, it is what it is. And Scott was it was so much fun for Scott to just pick with Scott. So yeah, it was exactly, Scott said, it was all good fun. We're just playing. And, you know, that's kind of what makes picking fun, is sometimes, and it was so much fun picking with him, because there were certain things where even when I found it, I'm like, you know, do you want this? You know, because it was more his aesthetic, and he found stuff. He's like, well, do you want this? You know, and there was other things that we did change hands on. So it's, you know, it's just fun. When you kind of know somebody else's aesthetic. And then there were times I'd show him something. Hey, Scott, what do you think of this? And he just make this face like I'd lost my mind. So I learned as I went along. So 10 minutes to get the compote. I don't know who the first bid was. Maybe it was Scott. Who knows? All right. Next item is a little bit was kind of an impulse buy for me. This was at an estate sale, and it was literally one of those cases. It was sitting at like they do this on purpose. It was sitting at the counter at the checkout area, and it was just sitting there. And I'm like, wait a minute, what is that? And I decided I had to have it. So it is a braid it yourself hobby kit to make your own hand braided rugs. So you've got some pretty cool graphics on the front, kind of some cool graphics on the back, which are split because of the way what I'm about to open up. But you also have some pretty cool graphics on the back. Now if I can open this without dumping it all over the floor. It has all of the little pieces that you need to attach to the individual strips of fabric to braid your own rug. So to me, they kind of look like cake tip, decorators, but clearly they're not. The instructions are here. So you have everything you need to be able to make your own braid rug. Now, if you buy this and make your own rug, okay, you need to send me a picture because I need to know that this is in use. But I bought it because whether you have an ephemeral like Katie does, I just thought the graphics on this was kind of cool. This is not something you come across, or at least let's put it this way, nothing I've ever come across before. So it's not so. And then if you want to, you can take all these little pieces and like, I know that I think Katie has one. I know Vinny has one. You get those little junk jars. These would just be like cool little pieces in there. When people look at your junk jars, like, hey, what is that? Oh, hey, that's when I made my own rug. So it's just kind of fun. It's I'm not sure if there was a date on it. I'm assuming like 50s or 60s, maybe older. I don't know. When did people make braid rugs? 1840. So you get the whole thing. It comes in a nifty little envelope. So all those little pieces that just say metal ends for wrapping wool for braided rug. So that's how I bought it. Couldn't really tell you the age. Couldn't really find another one. But hey, Josie is saying that she's got one of those rugs. I know you've always wanted to make your own. Okay, well, here you go. So you can have the set, with the gold card and all the little pieces. $9 for the set of rug braiding kit. $9. Forgive me, number 13. $9, 13. So yeah, so Vinny is saying, yeah, I thought Vinny had some junk jars. Oh, he's already filled 2 and is working on a 3rd one. Well, here you go, like a little jump start. You get 10 of those little braid pieces. So number 13, $9 for the hobby kit. Okay, I need a drink. Just Dr. Pepper. Sorry, everybody. All right. We were like an hour into the show and I haven't had any coasters yet. How'd that happen? So, yes, I am shipping from outside Chicago. And it looks like we had a couple people looking for the 13. So 13, the rug braid kit goes to Catherine Young. So thank you, Catherine, for picking that up. So I've got my first set of coasters. And if you've paid attention to some of my videos in the past, you will recognize these coasters. However, these are not my coasters. They just are identical to the set I already have. So I found these and I knew I had to pick them up. It is a set of 6 of the porcelain black and white German themed coasters. So Pforzheim, okay, that sounded made up, but there you go. I don't actually have that one. Stuttgart, Donau, Bailbrunn, Reutlingen. So I'm just making shit up now. I'm sorry. I'm just making stuff up now. And Lübingen. I don't have my Huckster helper to sit here and give me the actual pronunciations of any of these places. So these are all DP porcelain coasters. They're all souvenir coasters. Now this one's actually kind of nice because it does come in a little black leatherette case. The case is not in great shape. There's like some marks and stuff on it. Mine, I never had a case like this. I picked up all of mine individually. I never bought them as a set, and I have too many to fit in a case this small. So they are obviously they're all different cities. They were made. These were not like the name escapes me right now, but there's one that does a set where I sell them as a box set of 6 that all are from the same town. These are just, this company made these as souvenir dishes from all over. And this person, I got these at an estate sale. This person either went to these 6 locations or bought these 6 locations together. So anyway, so you've got 6 of the German porcelain black and white architectural cityscape coasters, and you get them for $2 a piece. So $12 for the set of 6 of the porcelain coasters from German towns. $12 by giving me number 43. $12, number 43 for this set of coasters. So Book Bewitch is saying I had one in denim. Okay, did they do them in the set? That sounds like a 70s thing, doing it in denim. So I'm curious if I missed when people were trying to estimate when those sounded like I had a Dutch accent. Okay, I tried to do a Cockney accent and I sounded like I was from Missouri. So you know, it happens. I have to do a Cockney accent coming up. I'm doing a show in July, and my Cockney is all over the place. So, anyway, we've got the coasters. Looks like we had a taker on it. So number 43, the porcelain coasters went to Auntie Christy. So thank you, Christy, for picking up the porcelain coasters. All right. Next one, I think Nate has recovered from his last multiple. It is my last multiple. I only have one other item I have more than one. This time I only have two, so this is easy. Hey, Daniel. I haven't done the brooch yet. So if you're here for the brooch, I'll do that next. But right now, I've got this little piece, and this is from Avon. If you watched, Daniel and Katie had a live sale last night, and Katie had a piece from Avon. And as she said, and I've said before, Avon gets a bad break. Like they get some bad knocks because it is fairly prevalent. But the fact is, they make some really nice pieces. And what this is being billed as is an Easter egg holder. So I guess you have this little series of little ducks that you would then place an egg in here. Now, I'm going to say I feel that egg would be fairly big. I did not have any eggs to actually put out there, but using the top half of the Matryoshka doll, it's a fairly decent sized egg that would fit in there. Now, it doesn't have to be an egg. You could hold a little globe in there. You could hold a crystal ball. You could hold whatever you want, and it doesn't have to be Easter. It is just a springtime little ducky ring with the little floral design. And actually, yeah, I thought I'd seen it. It doesn't actually even say Avon anywhere on it. And the only reason I know it's Avon is because I have the original box. And I have two of them. Both of them have the original box. So it is a little ring, each with the three ducks. And it is technically an Easter egg holder, but it can hold whatever spherical object you like. And it is only $5. $5 for the Easter egg holder with the ducks. Again, there are two of them. So for the first two people who show me this number, you will get it for $5. $5 Easter egg holder, number 49. Number 49. All right. And yeah, super egg, a really big one, or a glass one, or a porcelain one. I mean, all of those. It's just, I don't know. It's not, even the box is not big enough to hold an egg. So it's like, what gigantic, hormone-filled steroid chickens were making eggs? Ostrich eggs? Are these from the Australia Avon? So anyway, I still thought they were cute. No matter what you end up holding them in there. And I see a question about Scott and his ugly lamps. And I agree. Whoever said, yeah, Vinny said the lamps were not as tacky as you think. The shades were pretty bad. So if you don't subscribe to Scott, first of all, how do you know me if you don't know Scott? Follow Scott, the Oldest Curiosity Shop. And he found some pretty interesting, I thought they were lucite, but he said they were glass, mid-century modern, kind of a cool gold base. But somebody put the ugliest shades on them, just like they couldn't have tried to be uglier. I don't know at what era those shades ever would have been attractive. And I think if you put the right shade on the lamps, it would improve them a little bit. But as is, yeah, I don't think they're going to stay in Scott's architectural haven for very long. So let's see. So 49 went, the two duck egg holders went to Thomas Lynch and Rebecca Higgins. I'll write that down. All right. I promised Daniel I would show the brooch next, and I will do that. So the brooch is also something I put into my Instagram chat, and a couple comments came in that they felt that this should also glow. Everyone's on a glow frenzy. Unfortunately, these stones do not glow. So you have, they're showing up way bluer on my screen than reality. The ones here are a little bit more like, oh, there we go. If I hold it at a different angle, you can see they're a little bit more clear. They're picking up the blue from the surrounding stones, which is why this is such an attractive brooch. It definitely has an overall blue aesthetic. It's just, I don't want to mislead. The two down here are practically, there we go. They're practically clear, but you hold it the right way, they pick up the blue from the rest of the brooch. It is not signed. I had several people ask me if it was signed. Unfortunately, it is not signed. It does have a safety clasp on the back, and I will disclose at some point, probably not while it was being worn, at some point the pin back got pressed down. It doesn't appear to affect the actual, use of the clasp. It's just like, I guess technically you'd have to say that that was damaged, but it probably could be pried back up, but I don't know how weak the metal would be. I don't think it's doing any damage, being down. And maybe it was designed that way, because if it was sticking out, it might push against your lapel too much. I'm not really sure. So they are all prong set stones. So that's something that Katie taught me, that's like a big deal. And then they do have the closed back, which Dolores has talked about before, but I don't really understand what the significance of that is, because you don't have a maker's name. So anyway, it is a butterfly. It is 2 inches across at the top. So it's 2 inches across at the widest part of the top of the wings, and then about a little over 1.5 tall. So decent sized brooch. Like, you're not gonna be able to see it against my blue, but I'm wearing my dragon shirt for you, Halem. This is a different dragon shirt. I had the tiger shirt last week. This is the dragon shirt. I also have another dragon shirt, but it's the blue stones, a little bit of the Aurora Borealis stones there with the clear ones. It's just a beautiful, beautiful brooch, but unsigned. So I'm just selling it for $16. $16 for the, I was wondering, Vintage Loving Nerd, that you were voting for something for 0. I'm like, I don't think I've ever had an item with the number 0 before. So $16 for the stone butterfly brooch. And you can have that by giving me number 6. Number 6, $16 for the butterfly brooch. And we got an update that my compote sold. So the Noritake compote, the auction ended. And I'm going to see if it's anybody I know. So one moment. So let's see. Sold, awaiting payment. And it went to the winner has an email that I don't recognize. It says, I'll just say it starts with I love. I'm not going to give the whole name because I don't want to disclose the rest of it, but they love something. So I love something. So I love one. So if that's somebody from within the chat, definitely let me know. And I apologize. Somebody already told me that they were the ones that got it. So yeah, so $36 was the final bid for the Noritake compote. So if anybody wants to own that, they were that, because then if you do buy anything else tonight, you'll have already paid for the shipping that's tied to the purchase of the eBay item. I would be able to combine for shipping. So, all right. And then the winner of the brooch, number 6, goes to Susan Way. I can pack that in the little toffee tin that you bought too. So it'll be very easy to ship you. Thank you so much, Susan, for picking that up. And yes, hashtag bring back the brooch is both Katie and Daniel's battle cry. So doing my part. All right. So the next item, which just went live. So this is what replaced the compote in the auction. This is I had to write it down. It is a Heron Martinez Mendoza candelabra. So it is a pottery piece that is primarily in the shape of a very large duck. So you can see the beak of the duck, the long neck of the duck comes back to the tail. The duck seems to have some level of a saddle on him. I'm not really sure what this wishbone is coming out of the middle, other than the fact it is a candle holder. There's kind of like I don't know if that's supposed to represent water. I'm not sure, but there's a little decorative scroll in the middle of his back, and then 2 little ducks attached at the sides. So kind of taking a free ride with maybe Mama Duck. And then there's another candle holder here in the front. It's odd, but it's also a very well-known artist. So this is one of those cases that, again, if I can't figure out what something legitimately should sell for, or there's conflicting information on on eBay and Etsy and WorthPoint, that's where eBay auctions are a great leveler. People can just decide what they think it's worth. I did find other examples of these, and I will say the last example with only 2 ducks, like 1 big duck and 1 little duck. This one has 2. That one sold for $175. There are examples of this size with not this exact design, but with this size that were selling for over $400. Those are sold comps for over $400. But then there was like in the hundreds. I don't know what it should go for, because on top of that, this one was used as a candle holder. So there's some places where you can feel the wax is still on here. I hesitated to clean it off because there's also places where I feel that the wax was cleaned off and it affected the glaze. So I don't want to do anything more to it. You can see there's actually kind of a cool, this is how you know it's the Heron Martinez Mendoza piece. It's got the chest plate decorated like that. There's a couple places where I'm not sure if this would clean up any better. I'm leaving it alone. The photographs are of the piece as it is. And then I started the pricing lower because I don't know how that affects its value. And also he got knocked on his head. You can see there's a little bit of where actually there's a little bit of a chip in his forehead and a tiny bit of wear on his beak. So not in perfect condition, so it's probably not going to sell for the 400, but what do I know? So it is now on the Etsy or on my eBay store as an auction. It is now live. So the compote has ended. This has replaced it. It will end next week during my next live sale at the top of the hour. So you'll have the opportunity to pick that up and we'll see what it goes for. All right. I did a deep dive about a month ago with Cindy from Mimi's Treasure Cottage on Longaberger. I didn't want to do a deep dive on Longaberger, but I did. So one of the reasons I didn't want to do it was because I knew nothing about Longaberger, which is why I do deep dives, but I also didn't have a lot of interest in Longaberger. But one of the things I do with my deep dives is I will always try and have something in my possession that is about the topic that we're going to cover so that I can show it, talk about it, and understand a little bit more. And this was one of the pieces that I showed. Well, Cindy, I always want to call her Mimi. Cindy raked me through the coals in a very kind way because she's from Ohio. But what I bought kind of made no sense. So I'm just I'm selling it to you the way I bought it. So first you get the little tie. So you get a lot of the baskets had these little finishing touches, these little ties with this pewter flower basket, flower shelf thing the little charm that you would tie to a ribbon around your basket. This was with it. And then these 2 pieces, which I later discovered, and it's one of those, of course, moments, but I didn't know. These are evidently supposed to be inserts. Unfortunately, they don't appear to be the inserts to this basket. This one maybe has a fighting chance of being the insert to this basket, but she said it should not have raised up above it. So we've got 2 of the inserts, 2 Longaberger. They're definitely Longaberger. They belong to something. But the 2 Longaberger basket inserts that don't necessarily belong with this basket. And then the basket itself, she did say I was successful with the basket itself because that's considered the open weave pattern, which is not particularly common. So they made an entire base underneath it, but they left the middle of it open to actually highlight the fact it is an open weave pattern. So the rest of it normally is done like this, so you really can't see through it. That one is done. It is dated 2002. It has the Dresden, Ohio Longaberger stamp. There's no question it is a Longaberger basket. It's just, I now no longer need it. The deep dive is done. And she did a fantastic interview. You know, she shared a ton of stuff, but even I had no interest in going out to collect Longaberger when it was done. So I sold the other piece that I had. I sold it in a previous live sale. This was the only other one I had. So this one's going out to Longaberger, or going out for a sale. My last Longaberger basket's part of the live sale. And you can have the set, whether these belong in it or not. You can turn it into cookie scrapers or paint stirrers, for all I care. $10 for the set of Longaberger miscellaneous pieces. $10. Actually, with the little charm could tie to that. Like that, I think that's fair. $10 for the set of Longaberger with its inserts. $10 by Give Me Number 7. $10, number 7 for the Longaberger piece. So, all right. Next, we're going to go to another souvenir piece. I didn't mean to have a lot of souvenir pieces. Just kind of happened. This one is from, I don't know. Yeah, I think I looked on it. No, it didn't have a, it does not have a maker's mark on this that I can tell. There's a little sticker residue, but I don't think there's anything underneath it. I want to say it's Houzz, Houzz. They're the ones who typically made these types of dishes. They're glass. It's going to be hard to see, you know, because of the light, but you can kind of see like my hand through the glass. So it is translucent. It's a smoked glass. You can kind of see it's got the dark glass. But I had not seen this style before, where it's not monochromatic because there are multiple colors, but it's got a very distinct look to it. That makes me think this is a little bit older. They still make these, you know, Disney World still sells things like this. But the newer ones tend to have a much better coloration. This one, I want to say, because it's Mount Vernon, because of that style of the design, I'm thinking this is maybe more bicentennial, like getting into the 70s, where you're like that colonial color pattern. It's a beautiful dish. It's in beautiful condition. I love the souvenir pieces too, Christy. I mean, it's just one of those cases that I typically, when I pick up souvenirs, I usually would buy something I could hang on my Christmas tree. So my Christmas tree gets interesting because there are bookmarks on my Christmas tree. There are keychains on my Christmas tree, because you go to a country that doesn't celebrate Christmas, or you visit a country in, I don't know, July. It's kind of hard to find a Christmas ornament. So you can get creative. But these dishes, like I said, Houzz did a lot of them. And they always have the same ruffle pattern to them. It's like you could even stack multiple different souvenir pieces together. They're just really sweet. It's a really nice piece. It's a decent size, you know, as a small little trinket dish. And it's $9. So if you want a memory of Mount Vernon, George Washington's home, $9 for the Houzz souvenir dish. $9 by giving me number 31. $9, number 31 for the souvenir dish. All right. And so number 7, the Longaberger, went to Nettie. So thank you, Nettie. And at no point was I trying to do any disparaging comments about Longaberger as a whole. Just not my thing. So I hope you give it a good home, Nettie, and hope you enjoy it. It's a totally useful piece. Just not one that I wanted. So let's moving on to another mystery box. God, now thanks, Book Bewitched. Yeah, something we started doing like long before I even had kids. I only have one. Before I had a kid, like we did it as family later, but even earlier, I've traveled to 35 different countries, and then in those countries, I've done to multiple cities, and so it's kind of neat to remember. You do run into like I can only have so many items from Houston. I can only have so many items from Disney World, but you know, it's fun to do. 31, the Mount Vernon glass, went to Helen Casey. So thank you, Helen, for picking up the Mount Vernon dish. All right, so the next one is going to be back to another mystery box. So same thing, I still have like 100 of these. You still get a maxi pad in your mystery box, custom weight to however far I have to ship it, so that the postage will probably be around $10. $15 for the mystery box. It'll be worth between 25 and 30, depending on, you know, 25 to 30. I just kind of like put stuff in there. And again, you're going to guess the number. So I'm not going to tell you the number. You have to guess it. And Nate, again, knows the number. He cannot be bribed. He knows the number, so he knows what number we're looking for. and you just put in the number that falls between 60 and 70. And the first person that gets it, hey, Kelly from Found Again, the first person that enters the number that's on the card will get the second mystery box that I'm offering this evening. So the number is between 60 and 70. And scrolling through to see at some point, make sure somebody guesses it. Okay, I just saw it come across. Now we will see if Nate sees the same person that I saw do it first. Doesn't look like a lot of people guessed it, interestingly enough. I only see 2 people, I think, that got it. So let me see who Nate says he saw as the first person. And if anyone local ever wins it, I'll probably give you like an entire place setting, like place settings of China. All right. Mystery box was number 67, and it is going to Kim Z, who just got the last set of China I sent. I'll make sure you get something different this time, Kim. So congratulations. I hope that means you like the mystery boxes you're getting, Kim, because I think you've gotten a couple now from me. So Kim is getting another mystery box, number 67, for $15. So thanks so much, Kim, for picking that up. All right, this is another item I showed on my Instagram, and actually had a lot of comments, and some people were helpful, very helpful. Dolores from the jewelry, Miss Dam Jewelry. She shared some information because evidently, and after she said it, I figured it out. This is what we've basically determined, or we've decided, and the online community has decided is a badger. Hey, Jody. Hey, Sally. It is a badger. It looks like a regular badger figurine. You know, nothing special. I mean, it's cute. It is Beswick, or Beswick, as some people will say, but it's Beswick. But if you look on the bottom, you do see a hole, which, you know, in and of itself, you just think, oh, that's probably like from the making process or whatever. Yet, no. It is a Ben Eagles Scotch whiskey mini decanter. And it is made by Beswick, but it was designed in Perth. And Dolores mentioned that her husband grew up in Perth, Australia, and that the Ben Eagles is evidently an Australian Scotch, or started as an Australian Scotch whiskey, and he grew up near where the pharmacy was that made it. I don't know if it was a pharmacy. I can't remember what she said, but somebody that actually that made that formula mixture to be the Ben Eagles Scotch whiskey. And what I later found, or as I started doing the research on it, you can see there's a little bit of a ring here. Like you kind of like see a circular mark. What that is the remains of an adhesive, because that hole would have had a cork. And then over that cork would have been a circular seal, which was the tax seal. It is a decanter. You would have had the whiskey inside. They would have popped it put a cork in there, and then sealed it with the stamp, or like a foil seal. And then it could still sit upright on the shelf. And they made these in all different kinds of animals. It is so freaking cute. And I've never had a piece of Beswick before. I've heard of Beswick. I always see it like Antiques Road Trip, not Roadshow. Antiques Road Trip is by far my favorite antique show. They show Beswick animals all the freaking time, and I never see them here in the States. So this one is literally a decanter for Ben Eagles Scotch whiskey, and it just happens to be what we've determined, like I said, what I found online, that he is a badger. So we've got a badger Ben Eagles mini decanter from Beswick, and he's available for $20. So $20 for the little Beswick decanter, $20 by giving me number 53. $20, number 53 for the little Ben Eagles badger. And I agree. He is so cute. So, okay. So Nicole is begrudgingly saying he's a badger. So I could be wrong, but like I said, some other people that were selling them were also calling him a badger. Somebody called him a otter. I'm pretty sure he's not an otter, but he's not a beaver because he doesn't have the big beaver tail. He's got a little tail. So I think he is a badger. Michelle from Comfy Cozy Living, she saw my post and she did not argue that it was a badger, and she's from the Badger State, so she should have known. So number 53 went to, just lost it, Kim Z. All right, so I will make sure I leave room in your package this time for your for the decanter for the decanter, Kim. So you get both your mystery box and the decanter. Kim Z. All right. Yeah, he's a cutie. I almost considered keeping him, but can't keep it all. Oh, you're right. Yeah, he does. He looks kind of like, from the Wind in the Willows. There you go. Yeah, he was a badger. All right. Next piece is one that I had hoped I could find more information on, because it's, to me, it has a very distinct look. It is a flower frog, but it's a flower frog like almost trying to be a crab. Like, I don't think he's supposed to be an animal, but he kind of, I don't know. When I saw him, he looked kind of like a Maryland soft shell crab. He has the 5 holes. He is marked Japan. He has an incised mark on the back. He is marked Japan, so he's got some age. And he's in perfect condition, but I wasn't able to find this shape. So I don't know who made it. Oh, good Lord. Melody's saying it's a clown. All right, now I can't not see it. Yes, it is a clown. Put a little smiley face, big lips right there. We got a clown face. Oh my God, it's the maker of my nightmares right there. There we go. I can stare through it. All right, so now that no one wants it, thanks, Melody. So we've got the Maryland crab / scary clown flower frog. Like I said, I picked it up thinking it was going to be something like a specific maker or a specific, whatever. It's made in Japan. It's definitely has some age. It's in fantastic condition. It's a great color. It's a great celadon green color. But I just couldn't find anything special about it. So I think it's cool. As flower frogs go, a lot of people like the glass ones. I personally like the pottery ones too. This is just not a figural one that I'm going to keep in my collection, so I'm offering it here. Okay, so once you see the clown, Vinny, you're not going to be able to not see the clown. So you've got the 2 eyes, the nose, and my fingers are making his lips. And then you've got the big wig and the big bushy eyebrows at the top. So, all right, probably no one wants it now. But anyway, so whatever you want to do, it is a traditional flower frog. It sits like it normally would. I mean, it's a flower frog. Perfect condition, no chips, no cracks, just no maker's mark. So I don't know exactly what it is. It's $10. So $10 for the little ceramic. He might be porcelain. I think it's ceramic. Flower frog, $10 by giving me number 63. $10, number 63. Yeah, no hidden Mickeys here today, Halen. We got hidden clowns. They're just popping out all over the place, trying to take you down. So 63, $10 for the green flower frog. All right. Another item that I had on my Instagram. These have proven very popular to be in the past. Yes, Lois, marble holder. People have put pens in them. My flower frog collection, I don't put anything in them. I just think they're beautiful on their own. So, everyone's got different interests. But yes, when you see them on eBay and Etsy, people are trying to make them more than what they are. I mean, they're artistic pieces. And I did like the looks of it. And evidently so did Nettie, because Nettie is picking up the green flower frog for her own collection. All right. So these I've sold these in the past. And I'm glad you liked that color, Nettie. I've sold Wade Whimsies in the past. I've not actually sold all of these. I believe I've had the dog before. I know I've had the tiger before. I've never had the horse, and I've never had this elephant. I do have an elephant. It's the only Wade I kept in my personal collection. And why did I keep it? Because its trunk is down. So this little uppity one has a trunk up. He took his Viagra for the day, and so he's got the trunk up. So he needs to be sold. Everyone else wants the trunk up. I want trunk down. Anyway, what's special about these is they all have the little like the little pedestal type thing. What that is the circus platform. The poodle one doesn't show up as well. You can see it's like the drum type thing that you have in the circus. You can see it's decorated around the edges. So all 4 of these are from the circus collection. So the circus collection would have had probably 12 to 14 or 15 in the set. I don't think it wasn't the calendar set, so I don't remember exactly how many it had. But what I have is a set of 4. So I've got the elephant, the horse, the tiger, and the trained poodle in a little poodle skirt. So it's a set of 4 of the Wade Whimsies from the circus collection. 4 of the animals for $16, so $4 each. $16 for the set of 4 circus Wade Whimsies. $16 by giving me number 25. $16, number 25 for the set of 4. So yes, so I think the dog is dancing, and kind of the horse is dancing too, because he's up on his hind legs too. Trunk up with or without Viagra is a good thing. All right, so that is the Wade Whimsies. All right, trying to like rotate the what I've got left. I've only got a few items left, so hopefully we'll finish on time again. So let's see, number 25. The Wade Whimsy set goes to Old Stuff, Beth, Texas. All right. So thank you, Beth, for picking up the Wade Whimsies. All right. This is just a kind of a sweet little piece that I picked up. I want to say this was, I don't think this was my trip out east that I just did. I want to say I had this one already. I can't remember where I got it. It's not marked or stamped in any way. I have absolutely no idea of knowing how old the piece is, but it's that marquetry where it's all these inlaid pieces of wood that's trimmed all the way around this. And it's just an absolutely gorgeous trinket box. It's got the little feet on it, so it raises up a little bit. It's a hinged lid, which makes it really nice. But if you look inside, it's not, I don't think it's very old. The wood looks really fresh. Now it is like practically airtight. Like you can tell like it's tight in there. I just don't think it's that old. And so it was hard to figure out really what to price this for, because if it was older, it definitely would be worth more considering it's in such fantastic condition. But for all I know, it could be something that came from Hobby Lobby, like, you know, something from India that's currently available. So I picked it up. I thought it was a neat item, but I'm only going to sell it for $7 because I thought it's a great box, whether it's old or new. It's just a great little trinket box with some great detail and some graining on that. So it's the little trinket box. It is little. It's only 3.5 by 4. So it is relatively small, but that means it's lightweight and easy to ship. So little box, it's only $7. So as I'm holding the card backwards, you can all read that. $7. $7 for the little wooden box by giving me number 36. $7, number 36 for the little wooden box. Yeah, so Kay is saying she loves marquetry. Have you ever done any of, I know you do a lot of woodworking. Have you gotten into marquetry and stuff like that? Because that stuff I find, like those inlaid tables and some of those things that were done like the 19th century and older pieces. It's just amazing some of the things they're able to do. This is very pretty, but it's all geometric. But like when you start getting into the florals and each petal is its own little inlaid piece, it's amazing. Sometimes, especially the older ones, because how do you do it? Like you didn't have the tools. So number 36 goes to Angela Marksberry. So thank you, Angela, for joining in. And I give Angela also, I should have done earlier. I'm not doing it because she bought something. I'm doing it because I just said her name out loud. You should follow Angela. You can follow, and Trisha from Sandy and Otto. Angela does a calendar of all the live sales and activities on her Instagram. Trisha from Sandy and Otto does a version of it on her YouTube channel. So if you like video, you can go to Sandy and Otto. If you want a reference on, visual on print, you can go to Angela Marksberry. Her page is A Marksberry, like the letter A Marksberry, is her Instagram handle. And I use it all the time. because sometimes I forget when my own sale is, but I can then see, like, you know, I'm trying to squeeze something else in, and we were looking at the calendar to figure out, well, when can we squeeze it in, because there's so much going on. It's hard to find times for people to do, you know, special events and things like that. Hey, Proud American. If I didn't already say hello to you, but everyone's saying hi to Delbert, so you must have just joined. So let's see. So number 30, do we have a person taking number 36? Yeah, Angela Marquetry. So we did that. Okay. The next item, going into some glass. No, not going to go into glass. I'm going to go into another piece of porcelain. Now, at some point, I'm going to double up. I do try and alternate as I show you things, so people that don't like one thing don't get bored. But we're back to another piece of porcelain. This one is a really sweet trinket dish. And it's like, it's another souvenir item. Again, this was not intentional that I'd have all these souvenir items, but this one is a little bit more of a subtle souvenir item, because to a lot of you, you may not know what this is a souvenir item of, because so I'm gonna babble a little bit and see, update my feed here and see if anyone can tell me what this is a souvenir item of. But it is a flag with two lions on feet, and I see. Melody got it right out of the gate. It is the Bavarian flag. This is a souvenir dish of the region of Germany called Bavaria. Bavaria used to be its own country before it was unified. So Bavaria still has its own flag. So it's got the lions. Is it Nate used the term the other day, passant, lion passant, where they're up on their feet. It's just got the blue and white diamond pattern, the little blue and white bow at the bottom. I don't think the bow is part of their flag or their shield. I think that's just added for effect. But then the little leaves and everything, I'm sure there's maybe some significance to that. But it is a Bavarian dish. It is not signed. So maybe had a sticker on it at one point. Based on just the way it looks and some of the wear on the bottom, I do think this is older. It's interesting that it's not marked. So I don't know if it wasn't designed for the export market, so they didn't put anything on there, or if it was late enough, like maybe 60s or 70s, where it just had a sticker and the sticker came off. So it is an unmarked Bavarian porcelain trinket dish, and it's only $10. So $10 for the little trinket dish with the Bavarian flag on it, $10 by giving me number 35. $10, 35 for the Bavarian flag trinket dish. All right, now I will go to some glass. So these I have had before, and I'm selling them at the same price I had them before, because I think they're cool, and I want someone else to think they're cool. So they are a set of, and this is something that Katie trained me on, and Katie was the one that bought these the last time. So she called these sandwich glass. I do not know if these are original sandwich glass, which is older, or if this is a newer, reproduction of it. There's no markings on here, and glass has been made the same way for a very, very long time. For interesting, if you didn't see my video at the Cambridge Glass Museum, I was just contacted by the Cambridge Glass Museum asking if they could put my video on their website. I thought that was pretty cool. So the way glass is made has not changed all that much. Hey, Cindy. So it's just one of these cases that it is the sandwich glass pattern. It's pressed glass. It is a pretty decent, it's a pretty decent maker, because the mold lines, unlike the acro agate one that I was talking about, the mold lines have been very nicely fire polished. There's not any severe, there's not any serious mold lines on any of these. There's a beautiful shape, and I'm afraid to hold them all because I don't want them to chip. But what they are, if you've been paying attention, they are the bridge set of the suits of cards. You've got the spade, the club, the diamond, and the heart. So it's the full set of 4, as is sometimes is odd in the world of glass and collecting. When you get the entire set at once, it's not worth nearly as much. Because what typically happens is people have 2 or 3 of the pieces, or they have them and then one breaks, and so they need to replace just the club. So if you just need the club, these can sell for $10 to $15 a piece. But I am actually selling the entire set of 4. So all 4 of the bridge set. I'm selling all 4 of them for only $14. So $14 for the 4-piece bridge suite of the suits of cards in the clear sandwich glass. $14 by giving me number 9. $14, number 9 for the bridge. And I would say these are probably like snack sets as opposed to ashtrays because they don't have a little place for the cigarettes. So it would be like a little nut dish or something for if you got peckish while you're eating, playing bridge or whatever you did back in the 50s, because evidently people had a lot more free time back then. All right. So back to another piece of porcelain. Oh, wait. Oh, man. I got 3 pieces of porcelain pottery in a row. I really failed tonight. Just had a lot of porcelain. All right. Yeah, and so Irene's saying the heart is the one they found the most. And I think that was probably by design, because I have a feeling what they did was they just made the heart because it would sell by itself. Not too many people would just buy the club or just buy the spade because it's just kind of an odd-shaped piece. But hey, if you needed a Valentine's gift, buy the heart. You know, if you needed whatever. So yeah, there probably are a lot more hearts than anything else. The club is the one that seems to be the more expensive and the one harder to find. So anyway, so number 9, the bridge suite goes to Vintage Lovin' Nerd, VLN. So thank you for picking that up. All right, the next piece, if you're familiar with my channel, I do love all things German and Austrian in this household. I tend to lean Austrian. My daughter is more the German. But this was a piece, the minute I saw it, I picked it up. And actually, this was another piece that I picked up with Scott. I'm sure he's gone now. But when I was picking with Scott in Philadelphia, this was in that picker's home. Well, she was a picker herself. I mean, I misspoke, but she was a picker herself. So she had some really high quality items, and just in everything, like, you know, she had Halloween, she had Christmas, she had all kinds of stuff, some contemporary, some older. And this was a piece that I don't get mid-century modern very often. It's just harder to come by. And to me, it's harder to come by at a reasonable enough price to try and resell it. But this one, I felt just the shape of the dish. It's just got that trapezoidal, you know, shape. It's got the atomic starburst on it, plus just some really cool, the way the leaf patterns are done. It is European porcelain, and because I love European porcelain, it is Scherzer. And European porcelain, what makes it great is you can research the porcelain, and that specific stamp, although the design, I think, pretty much does underscore its age. But you can then look up that stamp was used between 1949 and 1991. So if, you know, it could be a little bit later, but that design makes it mid-century modern. So this is my only mid-century modern piece for this entire sale, and probably for my next sale too. But it's a Scherzer porcelain from Bavaria, Germany, probably from the 50s. And it's $18. $18 for the mid-century modern. I take my little cheat sheet off because I had to look up the date. I don't just know the stamps. I have to look them up. It's $18 for the mid-century modern porcelain dish. $18 by giving me number 64. $18, number 64 for the porcelain dish. Excuse me. All right, so it looks like we had a couple mid-century modern fans pop in there. Let's see if Nate tells me which one's the first one. All right, this one, I missed this one earlier, and it's totally my fault because I had a piece of paper covering it up, so I forgot that there was something underneath it. Because the next piece is another piece of porcelain. This one, however, try to turn it not into a joke, but if you want to cut your cheese, you've got a little cheese trivet, a little cheese cutting board, cheese plate, whatever you want to call. It is Stavanger flint, Norway's Norwegian porcelain, so I don't get that very often. The Scandi design, it just screams Scandi design. But what I find hilarious about this is the design. So it looks like Chad Yes, I've got Diet Cherry Dr. Pepper. That is what I'm sucking down, Angela. Diet Cherry Dr. Pepper. Because Diet Dr. Pepper, sorry, how they brainwashed anyone to think that Diet Dr. Pepper tastes more like regular Dr. Pepper. At least when you add the cherry, it makes it tolerable. So 64 went to Chad Retro Days. So thank you, Chad, for picking that up. This one was one of those cases where I'm like, what did they put on this pattern? Why are they showing a boy basically laughing in the background while a girl cries? Like, this is just like the most misogynistic cheese plate I'd ever seen. And so there's a reason for it, which is kind of found on the back. It is, you can see the maker, Stavanger Flint, Norway. You're probably not familiar with it because it's not that common here in the States anyway. But you can see there's actually a song written on the back called Per Spellemann, but all of the lyrics are in Norwegian. So thank you, Google. I looked it up. And now it will explain why this boy appears to be laughing at the girl crying in the front. So Per Spellemann evidently means Peter the musician. So I'm not about, well, they didn't, well, I guess if I tried, I could probably try and follow the little notes, but I'm not going to, because it's a very long song. And I will include this, whoever buys it, I will give you the translation. But basically, Peter the musician had only one cow. He traded it to get his fiddle back, and he loves his fiddle. Peter the musician played, and the fiddle, she laughed. Peter the musician, he played, and the fiddle, she laughed, till the boys were dancing and the girls cried. There we go. That boy is dancing or needs to go to the bathroom, and that girl is definitely crying. Now, there's nothing in there about birds. So the other darker part of my inner humor, kind of like, is the birds attacking her, and he thinks that's funny. I don't know why the birds are on there. There's nothing in the birds, nothing about birds in there's something about a tree. Those don't appear to be trees. They appear to be sunflowers. I don't even know if sunflowers grow in Norway. It's a pure Norwegian piece. Like, this is that maker is Norwegian, and it can't have been made for a Western market because no one knows what that says. So it is just a very weird porcelain trivet, hot plate, cutting board. It does have the little hole at the top so you can hang it, so because it is decorative. But it is a relatively small size. Let me put my tape measure again. It's only like 6 by 4. So it's not very big. So like I said, it'd be perfect for just like little snacks, little crudité, whatever. Entertain your friends with the story, because they're going to think you're a sadistic little mind if you just put this out without the story. So it's weird. It's not to everyone's aesthetic. I just think it's hilarious, and it's only $6. So $6 for the mean-spirited boy laughing at the traumatized girl. $6 by giving me number 40. $6, number 40 for the Stavanger Flint, which is actually a high-quality porcelain, Stavanger Flint trivet. And I will say, which I should have said before I gave you the price, and Vinny will get a good chuckle out of this, there is a tiny bit of crazing along the back, nothing along the front, which is a good indicator of age. I'm with you, Vinny. So number 40, $6 for the sadistic plaque. All right. And the last item, and I didn't mean to be this to be my last item, because I did actually show this on my Instagram channel. The last item is my Shawnee planter. Trunk up. Got to get out of my house. So it is a green. It's not really showing the green quite the same way. It is like also kind of like the Celadon green, like the little one that Nettie bought. They're very similar in color. It is a trunk up planter. Now, I could not find this as a Shawnee planter. This was something I was told by the person who sold it to me that it was Shawnee. She is a dealer, and others that she had were Shawnee. I could not find. I couldn't find this one. So I do. It has the Shawnee look. like the way the bottom is done, you know, with the unfinished edges. It is. I agree. I agree, Katie. He is a beautiful piece, trunk up or not. What I really like about him, I'm trying to like make sure you can see him, see it without me in the background, is just like he's just kind of got like a really cool line that they created. I'm sure by design, where they just made him like, they just gave him like a little architectural silhouette, which I just think is really cool. He's in perfect condition. There's no chips, there's no cracks, there's no issues. I don't think he was ever used as a planter, or if he was, the previous owner cleaned it out very nicely. It's a beautiful, beautiful piece. And I'm selling it for $15. So $15 for the, what I believe is Shawnee planter, $15 by giving me number 23. $15, number 23 for the Shawnee planter. And let's see. All right, I missed a couple. I didn't write down a couple of the winners, but I can figure that out from Nate's chat. It looks like we had quite a few people asking for the Shawnee. So let's see who Nate comes back. So number 23, the Shawnee planter, went to Susan Way. I know all. So that was my last item. I want to say the only thing that didn't sell, and Nate backed me up, there's just a couple that I didn't write in. Okay, so number 35 sold. I remember that sold. So let me find who got that one. The Bavarian box. Okay, the Bavarian box, I didn't announce that. Went to Julie at AJ's Retro. So the Bavarian box is heading from the United States into Canada, which just seems to make all the sense. Number 40 went to, oh, we got a new name. So number 40, the Norwegian sadistic plaque, went to, and I don't know why that name suddenly has latched onto that. I don't mean anything by that. Went to Chris Bright. So thank you, Chris. I don't think I've sold to you before, or if I did, I sold under a different name. I don't recognize that name. So just make sure you send me an email to the email address that's on the screen, just so I know where you're located with your shipping address, and I can send you the invoice. And then number 23, the Shawnee planter, went to Susan Way. All right, so the only thing that didn't sell was my little box of games. So he will end up on eBay if no one wants him. But again, this was the little set of box of games. It was $10, and that was number 41. So yeah, thank you, Nate. So this was the only thing that didn't sell. So $10, number 41 for the box of games. So that's it. The item here, the Heron Martinez Mendoza. Yes, I do have to look that up every time I say it. Pottery piece, that is the current eBay auction item. The link is in the description for the video, or it's been dropped in the chat a couple of times. So this just went live 48 minutes ago, and it will end in the middle of my sale next week. So this is currently up for sale, and I'm very interested to see what he does, because it's not an area that I love pottery, but I'm not familiar with Mexican pottery. And I'm really curious because of some of the values of where that's gone in the past. I'm curious what the collectability of that is now. So thank you so much. And it looks like somebody did pick up number 41. So vintage loving nerd, excellent. I can add that to the other item that you're getting. So to ship together, the shipping should be really reasonable, split across the two items. So then that's it. So that's, I appreciate, again, for those of you who missed out on the whiskey certificates, send me an email if you wanted more. I might be able to get more. So just in case you missed these, the 10 have already been claimed that I had. These were the 1928, 1929 whiskey medicinal prescriptions, prescription form for medicinal liquor, all from during Prohibition. They may not say whiskey, so let me know if you care what you want. They were $25, so just be aware of that. So if you wanted one, or if you got one, you wanted another one, let me know. I don't know how many more I can get, but if I can, I'm more than happy to do, more than happy to pass them on. So just let me know on that. So thank you all for joining. Yes, there were a lot of people. So somebody just said that Drifter Thrifters. Oh, Australia is represented. Wait, Australia just left. There we go. Australia got represented. So I miss saying hi to Nate from Australia. Yes, I had a good turnout tonight. Appreciate that. If you are looking for something to do, I didn't. Did anyone see the answer? I didn't. Did Nancy say whether she was doing her sale tonight? Because normally she would be doing hers in like an hour, but I don't know. She said she wasn't feeling well and she didn't go to work today. So maybe she's not doing it. So if somebody says that in the chat, I'd appreciate that, because hers will be at 11 p.m. Eastern. And I don't know if there's still going on, if there's still one going on, but there was a sale, his first live sale. Sean from Skunky Junk was doing his very first live sale. He chose to start in the middle of my sale. Nothing much I can do about that. I've had this slot for the last year. Same bat time, same bat channel. But that was the time he was available. And so that's when he did it. If he's still live, go to Skunky Junk. And that's the name of his YouTube channel, Skunky Junk. He's a vintage reseller on eBay. And he's done some videos. I've shouted out a couple of times in my videos. So maybe if he's still on, maybe you can get some stuff at Skunky Junk. So if you're looking for more live sales, help yourself there. And the invoices to all my items hopefully will go out this weekend. I try and get them out by Saturday. I'm almost completely caught up from my vacation, but I will try and get all of these invoices out by this weekend. If you don't hear from me by Sunday, go ahead and reach out to me, because maybe my invoice ended up in your junk email, or if you've never bought from me, maybe I didn't get your email with your shipping information. And even though I can see you on this chat, I cannot reach out to you. I can't contact you without you sending me an email. So send me an email to the email address on the screen. Try and get all the invoices out by Saturday. If not, you don't hear me by Sunday, reach out to me. But I appreciate it. So I appreciate all of you hanging out. Thanks so much for joining me. Thanks for putting your trust in Trusty Huckster. Thank you so much for Nate and for Katie for dropping the links. Everybody have a great night, and talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.